Assalamu alaikum and welcome. I'm Abrar Khan. I'm your host for Celebrating Sweet Success at IOBM. We're featuring this series to promote and talk about our featured alumni. Today's special guest is Asif Jafri. Asif is a tech entrepreneur with passion to alleviate poverty through digitalization. He's an international speaker on digital inclusion, the founder and CEO of Kistpay, a platform tackling socioeconomic gaps through smartphone financing. Asif is also an IOBM and Founder Institute alum of Silicon Valley. His journey from key roles varying from American Express Bank, Asian Capital Management, Union Bank, Unilever, and Telenor to co-founding eOcean, a leading cloud communication platform, and also advancing a startup ecosystem momentum, marked his path in fintech. Under Asif's visionary leadership, Kistpay featured in a World Bank report, earned a top 10 financial spot in the SDG Digital Game Changers Award, awarded by UNDP. They collaborated with GSMA, a global summit conference, Affordability Coalition, and ITU, partner to connect digital coalition member. Asif has recently signed an MOU at MWC Barcelona with UNDP, which is for D4ST, Digital Inclusion for Sustainable Development in Arab States. In a nutshell, Asif is all about erasing digital gap, ensuring everyone is part of the digital financial club. And on a side note, Asif, mashallah, was featured at the World Digital Conference, featured in Washington, D.C. earlier this March. Asif, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Abrar. It's a pleasure being here. It's a pleasure coming back to the institution that is very close to our heart.
It's always great, Asif, to learn what's new in the tech world, in the digital world. And mashallah, with your recent success speaking at the conference, we would definitely like to welcome some new learnings, Asif.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think where technology is moving these days, where the artificial intelligence and generative AI, in my humble opinion, the change is coming every day. Back in the days when we graduated, we used to think, learning is something that we'll do towards the mid of the year or end of the year. But today, it's learning is every day because new technologies are coming in, new platforms are coming in, and basically those platforms are more about how to get things cheaper, better, faster. So it's really all about competitiveness in the global markets. So if you can deliver something cheaper, better, faster, and these tools are generally available to everyone. So you need to keep your pace up, otherwise, you can be left behind. So I would say that there are certain platforms such as producthunt.com, which is basically a platform where all these platforms are generally being launched for the public consumption, public sharing knowledge. So, and LinkedIn is all about and if you follow the right pages, you follow the right people on LinkedIn, so you keep on getting those feeds. And I mean, it's really difficult to keep a catch up with all those technologies, but that's what we have to do.
The joke is, by the time the conversation ends,
yeah,
there's something, I mean, at least 5-10 new things which has come up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so true. And that's why I said that, it's very difficult, but you have to be there to know, at least to know. I mean, you can't implement, you can't bring those changes very quickly within your organization because your organization is done, organized and run by a certain particular set of practices, which you can't change it every day, of course. But at least you should know what is there, what is out there. And after a certain period of time, you need to change those practices with new practices to bring new efficiencies and improvements in the organization. Because customers are, in today's days and time, they compare you with the platforms like Facebook, with Netflix, and they don't consider that those are billion-dollar companies versus your company is a small company or maybe a SME or a startup. Their expectation is just the same.
Wonderful. So, I mean, that is an everyday challenge for the organization,
yeah,
right?
Everyday challenge. And I tell you that, that also brings a lot of new opportunities. So, it's not a space or an area to get scared of, but to be excited, just be out there, try to learn new things, and you'll get better and better. That's what the simple philosophy. There's nothing more that you can do.
You've had a wonderful journey, Asif. I mean, you went from multinational organizations, you've been exposed to the best of the best, and then there was this entrepreneurial jump towards doing your own thing. Please take us through.
Well, the thing is, I was always an entrepreneur from inside. Before even came to IOBM, I mean, it's a weird story, but let me share this thing with you. Me and my younger brother Amir, so we've co-founded different companies, and our earliest venture, if I could recall, like in 1995, 96 maybe, or maybe 98, when we used to get ED, we used to collect ED, so we never used to buy some, fancy stuff or stuff. We used to we decided, okay, can we do something, can we create some business out of it with the ED? And it's funny, but, we brought, parrots. Pair of parrots, and we said we can,
teach them and
no, not teach them, but breed them, and they multiply in 5-6 months, and the ROI is 100%. So, can we do that? And we did that. And, that was our first experience.
So this was prompted by someone, or I mean, you guys
actually,
came in?
I always love pets, animals. So I was always very fascinated by how quick, fast, and smart they are. So I said, let's bring them, but that turned out, and we had some idea that we will, when they will have kids, they grow and we'll sell, and that's how we'll make it. So this is pre-technology era I'm talking about. iPhone came in 2005, so I'm talking about 10 years before that. So I mean, I'm just sharing that this is something that has been part of our thought, I think. But after graduating from IOBM, I started working for Asian Capital Management. I started working for American Express Bank, then Union Bank. Then I was part of Unilever. And when Telenor Telecom Communication Company came to Pakistan, so I was part of the launch team. So first 6 years of my professional experience, I worked in multinationals. That really set me to a path to learn how to get things done, and then if I can create something of my own, and I can. So basically, I did not started my own companies that could handle everything. After Telenor, I left Telenor as an employee, and I became the part of their franchise network. So I took their franchise and distribution to begin with, in which my role was limited to the distribution side of things only, right? And that experience I gained in Unilever. So I was part of sales and marketing team at Unilever, and in that, the distribution is something that spent 2 years, which really helped me in, setting up my distribution setup in Telenor. So that experience of Unilever helped me in the first place to procure and convince the Telenor management that I'm capable of doing that, and I did that. So, but that was very well calculated risk. It wasn't like going out and trying something very crazy. It was a calculated risk that I was part of Telenor organization for first couple of years. I saw that the telecom industry is booming, Telenor company is booming, and the other franchises were minting money actually. So I decided to leave the job, and part of that ecosystem, my bosses were very kind that they gave me an opportunity. Otherwise, in Pakistan, generally people don't support, but Allah has been extremely kind, and that I've been supported by a lot of great mentors, my bosses, and something I would say that when you work with people, they really know if you're honest, if you're a person of integrity, and if you're doing something to help the organization, or you just do your job, and you're not excited, and you just do the job from a compliance perspective, that these are the things, bare minimum things I do. So I've never done that in my life. I've always been very, very excited with whatever I've done, wherever, in which role, and whichever industry I was very excited. I used to get up, I used to learn, do research, try to learn more about that, and really never thought that this is not my job, this is not my title, and I don't get enough salary to do this. those were never really my thoughts.
That's so important. That's so important. Yeah.
That's really, generally that sets me apart wherever I've worked. And that is also true even today. So I don't think that, I'm the founder and CEO of the company, so these are the things I should do or should not do. And so I'm not sure, but maybe I'm still the most hardworking person in the company, despite having field force, the team we have, in eOcean we have 130 people,
Mashallah.
and in Kistpay we have about 30 people, so altogether about 160 people, but I'm something, always working.
Must be a challenge to your younger brother and the rest of the team.
No, again, I'm very blessed to have my younger brother with me as a team member. He's super smart.
Mashallah.
And
Mashallah.
I think
Amir is doing well.
Yeah, he's doing well, and I think that's how the teamwork really helps. Because it doesn't matter how smart you are. Even you talk about the football or any sports, it's always a teamwork. Sometimes a superstar can win you a game, but consistently winning a game is a combination of a great teamwork.
Yeah.
So I'm very blessed and very lucky to have great team members, and those team members have been supporting me over decades. Last month we celebrated 15 years of eOcean.
Okay.
So a lot of people receive 10 years award, 5 years award, exceptional performance award. So it's something I would say that we've done something right, and the people are also very kind that they have been part of our organization. They've been supporting because in the organization that I worked before, I missed something. I missed something that people are being treated just an employee. The culture of if we're spending the biggest amount of time of life in our office environment, then how come we are just employees? We are there just competing, cutthroat, and we're not like family, we're not like friends. So something that I think was missing in my corporate career, and that's what we try to instill in our organization culture, that we're all part of one family. Where the support will go beyond what is being documented in the employment contract. Whenever there's something that needs an extra support, we would go. And the reason why we are able to do it, because we bootstrapped our platform. So we don't have external investors where the ROI needs to be given properly. Our ROIs are if our employees are happy and the clients are happy. That is our ROI. That is the dividends that we get. So with that philosophy, we kept on growing. And Allah is extremely kind, success after success. And I think people also feel that when they're part of an organization such as eOcean and Kistpay, they feel that they're really part of it. And if whatever the best the company can do for them, we have always tried. We're not perfect. There's still a lot of room for improvement, but that's a journey, and
that's the spirit, Asif. That's the spirit. We would definitely love to know a little bit about your journey at IOBM.
Journey at IOBM has been really transformation. If I could recall, during my interview, people who were interviewing me, they said, it's fine if you can speak in Urdu. So you know what that really tells, that I wasn't that good in speaking in Urdu, and I did not come from a background of A levels. So it's been really supportive from that point onwards, and the people who were doing my interview, they asked me, be comfortable. So that's really how it is. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's really what kind of person you are. People should be able to look into that, and they should be able to support. So from the interview all the way, I spent my time at IOBM. It's been amazing. It was I met amazing teachers, mentors, my class fellows who I have now become a lifelong friends. An important thing at IOBM, I do not have that financial strength to pay my courses fee on time. So even within my first semester, I went to the admin department and said that if you can. At the same time, I wasn't the A graders all the time, so I wasn't up for the scholarship. And I do not have to pay upfront also. I requested that, if my fees can be, paid in installments. And every time, college did that. And throughout this, my time at IOBM, so similar situations were there, and they always supported me, and which I'm really grateful for. If these kind of flexibilities are not offered, I believe that a lot of people who go through financial crunch, will not be able to make it. So IOBM has been a transformational force in my life, at least. I don't know if I did not come to IOBM, what life would I have been leading otherwise. So it's been really amazing. I learned a great deal of various subjects, and so today I manage my business. So I learned how to manage business. I built business. So it was all about business management. So I think it's amazing how the program was structured. Teachers were very well updated back then, and some of the thoughts that they instilled in me have been life-changing experience for me. Something really even today I recall those messages in difficult moments, and they allow me to
please to share, because we've got a large global audience.
Well, one thing, so I was coming from a different background, and the environment here was different, and when you enter the college life, so
all stratas,
all stratas are there, and sometimes you get bullied, or you've been ignored by a few people.
You're cornered as well.
Yeah, you're cornered as well. So I also experienced that, right? And I'm thankful to those experiences, to be honest, because that taught me very early that how to respond to those things. And there was a teacher, marketing teacher, Mr. Khayyam. I don't remember his full name.
The one with the ponytail.
Yeah, the one with the ponytail. And he used to be a very tough teacher.
Yeah, advertising and marketing.
Advertising and marketing. He was a very tough teacher. And I don't remember that anybody got an A in his course.
He was a tough one, yes.
Tough one. And within the second class, half of the class, I think only 6-7 students were left out. The rest of them dropped out.
That was his trick.
Yeah, because
that was his trick.
Yeah, because everybody was chasing the grades, and I was chasing knowledge. That was a key difference.
Ditto.
Right?
Ditto. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I need to learn something different. There's something. And out of everything else, I mean, forget the marketing, but the message he shared, one statement, that you will come across people in your life, and those people will be charismatic, and you want to be, part of their life. You want them to like you. You hang around with them. But you need to learn that you need to, be indifferent about those people if they are giving you, if they are cornering you. And you'll be indifferent in a way that if they are good friends with you, you're fine. If they're not good friends with you, you're fine. So some of the characters that I met here, very similar kind of characters I met in my professional life. And then I was a pro. I used to know that, how to leave them, how to just be fine with them if they're around me or they're not around me. So, I mean, these are very important lessons if you get to learn early on in your life. Otherwise, when you're working and you are not concentrated on your work and you're bogged down by these thoughts, you can't really concentrate. I mean, in your professional world, if you're an employee, you're not liked in all the circumstances and throughout your career. You get a lot of people, you get a lot of criticism. So handling all those things, I think, really help you to manage your craft and play well in the field.
The one quote that I remember from Khayyam was that, guys, there's going to be a deadline and there's going to be quality.
Yeah, right.
Yeah? And if you got to compromise with one of them, which one is it going to be?
Yeah.
And half of the class was deadline, half of the class was quality.
Yeah.
And he would just smile and said, never compromise on quality.
Amazing.
Huh?
Amazing.
And to date, I mean, the roles that I've been doing, the people I've been teaching and leading, we turn around as like, guys, never complo on quality.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There shouldn't be. I mean, often, I think in my generation at least, I have better hope from the current generation, people who are students right now. In our times, we were pressurized to get a job, any job that would be thrown at you. And the back days, Unilever, P&G, Colgate, PSO, Shell, well, very few names, back then. So but the target was to just get your high grades, because these organizations, select you on some criteria. And GPA was one of that. So, and every student was like really, go after the grades, where which teachers giving you good grades. But I was very clear that, grades something which is very important, but at the same time, if I get to learn, something unique, because every individual has unique experiences. And my target was never to repeat teachers. My target was always to learn new perspective, because every teacher would likely to repeat his personal life experiences and examples and other courses, right? If you choose different teachers, they would bring in different perspective. They would share their personal stories, which are unique to them, which are not written in any book. So that was my approach, and that's what I would tell if the students are watching this. Go for the content, go for the quality. Learn something which would stay with you for the rest of your life. And if you can learn something really valuable, such as ethics, professionalism, no compromise on integrity, these are some of the fundamentals. And sometimes you learn these things subconsciously if you get to interact and meet the right mentors and teachers.
And for sure, I mean, coming from someone like you, I think this would be a great opportunity to ask me. You've done Stanford, MIT, you are a mentor at institutes like IBA, you are the Alumni Association council member over here, active council member over here. So what would be your advice to the current students?
I would say that focus on learning. Do not get worried with what you're going to do after you get graduated. Don't worry yourself with the thought that people will ask you, oh, what are you doing? Were you not doing something, which you should? So focus on the quality education and find out your passion, what you really like doing. Don't think what is a buzzword, technology, something really crazy, doing something crazy. Ask yourself, what do you want out of your life? How do you define success of your life? Because generally, in the business management institutions, they tell you how to build business, how to get a job, and how to be a better manager. But I think the missing piece, even in today's day and time, that we don't define success. And success is very personal in nature, in my opinion. And people should define their own success.
If your purpose is not clear, you are a half-baked cake,
and
you're sent out to an X organization, you're still half-baked.
The thing is, we think that we have, thousands of years of life, but that's not true. Our professional life, is generally 35, 40, 45 years, right?
On the max.
And if you start with the wrong organization, you spend a couple of years just to get the job, and you just don't want to be at home seen a useless person, and you get on a job, and that sets you on the wrong foot, right? That sets you on the wrong foundation. So I changed my career. I started my career in banking. I was at American Express Bank in corporate banking. I was offered very good jobs from other institutions like Citi and all back in days, but those were in credit card sales. And I was like, okay, organization's big, but that's not something I want to do. I wasn't very well financially, I did not have that strength, but still I chose not to go on a path that gives me very quick money versus if I compromise on my long-term career. So I knew that if I want to become a CEO of a bank, I need to go through the corporate banking path. So I stick to that path. And then when but I learned that banking is not as fast as I want to do things. So I changed and I went to Unilever. And I learned few things there, which was completely different. I did my BB honors and MBA in finance, right? I was hardcore finance guy. I wanted to be the banking CEO by the age of 35. I was very, very ambitious. But on the journey, I figured out that, this is not exciting as I thought. So I switched, I moved, and I changed my career to sales, a subject that I always used in my studies. Sales कौन करता है यार, ये तो बहुत ख्वारी वाला काम है. So
it's a bit mundane one. I mean, it's
it's a repetitive and
outdoor one.
And honestly, today that's the only thing that I do. I sell, and do more sales. And that's you in life. You're doing sales every day. In personal, it's a personal sell sometimes.
Everyone is doing sales.
Sales, right? To your friends, you're selling yourself. To the clients, you're selling yourself, your services. To your family, you're selling yourself. So it's
one way or the other.
One way or the other, right? So, so I was very open to, new challenges, and that's what I would also suggest to students that in your early part of your career, take risk, not completely blind risk, but a calculated risk, and something that would, if you are successful now, that would really help you to build something great later part in your life. So that's really, really important, not to follow the herd, right? And just, get the job, a job that you really don't like, you don't want, and you're just saying that at least I'm getting money. So you are getting money, right? But you are basically being trained, and you're being now, when you go apply for the next job, you'll be treated from an angle that you have experience in this thing, which really you never liked it in the first place. So my suggestion is go after something that you really like doing, and once if you're lucky, if you can get there, then getting the excellence in that space will not be a challenge, will not be that big a challenge versus something that you really don't like doing anything. So when you like doing something, it becomes much easier. So I love my work, right? And one of my best friends said once, "Yaar, I feel pity for you. Itna kaam karte ho." And I was like, "What? I enjoy.
I love doing my work.
I love doing my work.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm doing something which is putting me in misery. It's something that makes me excited. So I'm excited. So if you're lucky enough to do something that you really like doing, that makes you happy. So achieving excellence and that space comes naturally. You talk about all the greatest in the world in any field. Even you talk about the religion, people who love religion, like Rumis and all those people. It wasn't a job for them, right? You talk about Ronaldo. You talk about
You got to go deep. You got to really enjoy that.
You're just doing it for the sake of doing it. You just love it so much that you find doing that work more interesting than watching on Netflix.
So you ventured into digital technology, Asif.
Right.
And from there, I think we ventured into Kistpay.
Right.
How did that happen? Please tell us.
So my journey, when I went, I was part of Telenor launch team. So the technology piece started to come in my life. So I was part of Telenor, and Telenor was a telecom, but backed by the IT, right, information technology. So I started to learn a bit more when I was part of Telenor, because it was a telecom company. So a lot of words and jargons of the IT industry started coming in my life, such as like the API, which is the application programming. I've studied finance, I've studied management, so these were the new things for me. So when you're in an organization like Telenor or any great organization, some of the things that those words are part of their daily operation, they're part. So basically you start learning. And as I said earlier, that every time I did any job, I was very excited about that. And learning was something that I was very keen in throughout my life. So I started taking more interest in that. And I said, okay, what really excites me with technology, it makes things possible. If we want to do something, is it possible? And is there a new way? Can there be a new way of doing things?
So that curiosity is something you've been thriving on.
That's curiosity. You're absolutely right. I was really fascinated with the fact that new things can be created, new way of doing things can be done, right? And I saw problems everywhere. Even today, I see, in Pakistan, everybody wants to leave. Nobody wants to fix problem. And if you just stay back and you build capabilities and using technology, you can solve a lot of problems. But we all want shortcuts, right? We don't want to stay on the pitch for long and play a test match. Everybody wants to play a T20. So, which is not bad, but not every game is T20. You need to have a mindset of test and one day as well. So, so basically started from that. when I was part of Telenor, I saw that there's a huge telecom subscribers growing up. We used to sell like millions of SIMs, back then. So today we have about 191 million subscribers in Pakistan. Back days it was like few tens of millions of customers. So I thought something, and this is also very interesting, that a very important aspect of my development was I was able to see pattern. Right? Okay, if this is happening today, what are the new opportunities it will unfold tomorrow, right? And that's what happened at Telenor when we were selling SIMs. So I was like that now a lot of individuals are acquiring SIMs, and there would be a way that businesses would like to connect and engage with them.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought when I started eOcean. We started with the messaging services, that businesses can reach out to people. So for the interest of the audience, I would like to share that what eOcean does is basically is a communication, B2B communication platform. We enable businesses to communicate, be on SMS, be on voice, be on call center, and now we are also partnered with WhatsApp. So we enable chatbots and AI-enabled chatbots, and we have created an omni-channel platform where businesses can, on one platform, connect with WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, TikTok, and many other platforms. So in today's age, the customers are everywhere.
Yeah.
So you can't dictate the old ways of doing things, send us email, call us call center, that days have gone. So you need to be there where your customers are. So that piece where we started from, just from SMS, that evolved over a period of time. That again, the curiosity thing. What is next? What is next? What is next?
And how can we implement it? I think something that you guys have brought to the table is the WhatsApp for business.
WhatsApp for business, yeah.
Yeah, and something which is so interesting.
Right.
Personally, I love it. I'm using it for a couple of organizations. For example, tax returns.
Okay.
You can get those statements.
Right.
For example, for banking services.
Yeah.
It's a killer for me waiting for like a couple of minutes for one of the organizations picking up the phone.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, organizations like eOcean has kind of developed those chatbots for organizations.
Right. So I mean, the prime example of that is HBL. So we enable banking on WhatsApp in Pakistan. We were the first one. And again, I would like to highlight one important negotiation that we did with Meta when we were getting the Meta partnership for Pakistan, the WhatsApp partnership for Pakistan. Initially, we were routed to a reseller of European company to take that product and sell in Pakistan. And we were of the view that we don't want to sell a product. We want to build our own. We want to customize things for Pakistan. We want to build the new use cases. We need to innovate. So allow us the API which we can basically integrate with unique use cases of Pakistan, and then we can launch new services. So and it took us some time, but we got that. We got the direct partnership. We were the first Pakistani business partner for Meta in Pakistan, eOcean. And then we built some amazing use cases. WhatsApp for banking, let's say, right? And for the largest bank in the country. And that required a lot of deep integrations with the banking system. We did that. We did it for the Uphone, the telecom operator, right? Now instead of calling the call center, you can use WhatsApp and avail all their services. We did it for Aga Khan. So, for the hospital, for the doctor appointment, just go on WhatsApp, select your, doctor, get that appointment, and you get that confirmation on WhatsApp. So you don't have to wait, on the call for long, and you can do it 24/7 at your own ease. We did it for Baitul Salam for a lot of, donation collection and many use cases. I mean, interesting use case was you can do Qurbani on WhatsApp.
There we go.
So I'm telling you that when you have an innovation mindset and you don't want to make money by selling more things, but by doing the value addition, that's really becomes exciting and puts you on a path to growth.
And in the COVID times, whenever you would call the other person.
That was another important thing. Very excited to share that. In Pakistan, when COVID happened, everybody was thinking to go back inside the office, home, and just be protective. But our organization was of the view that we are a local Pakistani company, and we have an advantage that we are connected with telecom operators, and we are a technology company. So using technology, what we can solve and what we can do for our country and for the government and for the people. So we did brainstorming at eOcean, and the idea that was come up with the ringback tone. And you remember when you used to call someone in the COVID time, you used to hear, COVID is this and COVID is that, and do this and do that. So I was very blessed that I was very well connected back then with the Ministry of Health and the PTA chairman back then. I pitched this idea and they implemented this, and we were like, wow. So one small change can bring a big difference. So about Nielsen did the research, and they mentioned about 120 million people heard that message. So I mean, you really need to sometimes think that a very simple solution can bring a big change. Not necessarily you're doing some AI stuff, some deep learning, machine learning, a very complicated thing. I mean, you just need to think what is the simplest solution can be a great problem solver in the given situation. And the challenges were very different, right? We could not do any BTL activation. Government never wanted to spend on TV because it requires a lot of big budget. So guess how much it costed government?
The development part?
Any and everything.
I would say 10, 15 million?
It costed zero to the government.
Wow.
Zero.
So this was
our idea. We built something,
pioneer,
and we
innovated,
implemented.
presented.
And even today, the government is using this platform to use it for some breast cancer awareness, some flood.
There are a lot of haters around this particular thing because no one wants to hear those messages.
Well, absolutely. Maybe I don't like that either. But it is something for a country like Pakistan where there's no great infrastructure is available. The telecommunication services has a reach of about 190 million subscribers in the country. So this basically is something bigger than the TV, bigger than the social media, bigger than
undoubtedly.
It's the biggest network. So, and it is basically is done in a way that you're doing something, and in that moment you're listening.
Possibly they're making money out of it right now.
Maybe, I don't know, but let's not go there.
And Kistpay, how did you fall upon Kistpay?
So basically, as I mentioned, that I come from a humble background, and three things changed my life: internet, education, and exposure. Exposure means today I travel around the world. I go to Europe, I go to US, I go to Stanford, I go to Silicon Valley, I go to World Bank, So education first, and internet was there in my life, which with my curiosity mind, I used to think, what are the new possibilities? What can be done? So when I learned that, using technology, there are a lot of things can be solved. So one of the things that I started with, being a Karachiite, I wanted to solve for the anti-theft thing, anti-mobile theft. Karachi mein rehte hain, we are always very afraid that some guy on.
You go around how many times? 3 times, 4 times, 2 times, 5 times, and
Yeah, so we are very afraid of a guy on 1 to 5 would come, and your family. So may Allah all keep us protected. I wanted to solve for that, and I thought that if I could make the cell phone useless, because what people used to do, my assumption is that they take the phone, they go out in the market, they sell it, they make quick money. Someone else also will use it, buy it, and continue. So the cycle was there. So I was of the view, if I can break the cycle, if I can know that the phone that has been stolen is reported to us, and if we can make that phone break, we can completely lock it. Making it useless. So with that philosophy, we started working, and I was given a scholarship in Silicon Valley in 2016 on that platform, because that wasn't only a Pakistan problem. It was, mobile snatching was everywhere in the world back then. So just to make it quick, I started with that objective. Moving forward, I pivoted, I learned new things, and I came to a point when I realized that using the same technology, if I can use it for the financing, device financing, because in Pakistan alone, there are about 68 million people who are not on internet today. So it's really difficult to digest that, there are 68 million people who are not on internet. So can we imagine what kind of life they're living, and what are their chances of success, in the digital world? Because I believe that in an offline world, there are a lot of inefficiencies. simply, you need to talk to someone, you need to go there. Whereas you can using WhatsApp or something.
So these are people who have phones.
Yeah.
They have the GSM phones.
They're featured phones.
Feature phones are there, but they don't have internet on their phones.
They don't have internet. They can't afford internet. They can't afford devices. So, so I developed a framework. I developed a technology. Started with Google. So we are one of the system integrator with Google for the device lock control. Google has given us access of their OS for the device financing, which is there are only 4 companies in the world. So Kistpay, alhamdulillah, is one of them.
Mashallah.
So we are very blessed to, and especially when we are from Pakistan and Google does not operate here. So achieving that has been truly God's blessing.
Mashallah.
And
Mashallah. Hats off.
After that, we collaborated with GSMA, which is a global telecom body. With 68 million I mentioned about Pakistan, in the world there are about 3 billion people.
All right.
There are 3 billion people. The world population as today, to the best of my information, is 7.8 million people, 7.8 billion people.
Roughly say 8 billion.
Yeah, 8 billion, and 3 billion people are not online connected. And the key challenge remains the affordability. Their monthly income is not good, or maybe constitute about 50% of their monthly value to buy a new device. So the barrier of entry is the cost. They can't afford it. It's the affordability challenge. And while we are solving it using a technology, if we can basically offer that same device on installment by breaking the payments into 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months, and especially to a segment that does not have a documented income. So the idea of Kistpay is to bring everyone on the planet on internet so that they can think new possibilities about life. My bigger challenge is that if we do not take internet to these families, the next generation would be the repeat of the current generation. And that's not sustainable. That's not how we want to see our world or our country left behind, because these people are not contributing. Plus, as you know, that Pakistan is probably 2nd, 3rd, 4th largest freelancers in the world. So how did we become that? Because people were able to do something on internet. They could think, they can code, they can learn, and they can contribute, then they can earn money online.
Wonderful.
So these 68 million people, I believe that if they are digitized, they would start to contributing more towards our digital economy and to the economy of the country, and they will start to contribute more of the solution. And we need to see that solutions are not coming from machines, solutions are coming from human beings. So even if these people have some solutions, they're not a part of our ecosystem. So we need to bring those people in, make part of our ecosystem, and then they're great success stories. I am just watching some video of a very small cute child from Skardu, he is doing vlog. So stories like that are being able because somebody has a smartphone.
Yeah.
So for me, enabling people with internet is something very close to my heart, and I think education, internet, and exposure, these are the 3 things changed my life. And I think if a person like me can do good things, everybody can do that, and everybody deserves a shot at life, because life is all about possibilities. When you're not connected, when you don't know what are the possibilities out there, you're fixated in your mindset and you're limited by the thoughts of the people in your surrounding. Internet really unlocks that. You can listen to the best of the best people in the world. Go on YouTube, go on TikTok, go on LinkedIn. I mean, these channels, these platforms are free, right? Provided you have internet and the device in your hand.
And Kistpay is more than the devices, right?
Yeah, so basically what we are trying to do, we are trying to do the digital and financial inclusion. And I'm just trying not to make it boring for the audience, because we're going deep into that subject. But idea is to bring people online and do it through the financing, and in the process we build their credit score, so that moving forward they can have access to bigger financial things. If they want bike in the future, they want computer in the future, they want car, they want mortgage or something. These people are undocumented. These people are not in the documented state. So if we don't do this intervention, the likelihood of them remaining where they are.
That's hats off, mashallah. And that's helping, I'm sure, in future the government,
the
economy.
That's a win-win situation.
That's a win-win situation.
From a consumer to the government and everyone in between. Because these people are going to be the first time user even for Google, for Facebook, for Twitter, for Instagram. So this is a new economy for everyone, and we want them to come and have a win-win for them and for the society.
And how do you, Asif, juggle both office and home?
I mean,
with all this happening, with all this travel.
Yeah, this has been a crazy year. 3 weeks back, I was in Europe for 4 days, came back. Then I was next week I was in US for 4 days. So sometime there's a very crazy schedule, but I hope that I will be able to create more team members who can go and represent us instead of me all the time. But the question is, how do I manage? The truth is, it's extremely difficult, and sometimes I am in my home, I'm with my family, and I'm doing yes, no, but I'm not there. I'm thinking
mentally somewhere
else, and that's a constant feedback that I get from my family. So it's not good. I need to work hard on that. How to but this is something that's been me. I mean, I've been always curious, right? Throughout my life, I wanted to solve for something, and something gets stuck in my mind. I don't come to peace unless I solve that problem. So I love to solve problems, and something is stuck in my hand, or something new idea comes, or something I get excited. My wife, sometimes, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, something is coming. She says, go to sleep.
So you married an alumnus.
Yeah, I married an alumnus, and that's another piece where IOBM contributed to my life. She's from IOBM. She was junior to me, but having someone from the same institution, brings some kind of similarities. When doctors gets married to a doctor, so they understand, the kind of work, the kind of night shifts, and all those things. So I think those alignments are very important. And my wife has been extremely supportive in my journey. She's been the HR head. She did HR from IOBM, so she is managing the entire HR operations, heading the HR for last 10 years for our organization. So it's been really great contribution from IOBM from that perspective.
Mashallah. I was about to ask you, but here's the question: how do you lead big teams? And you mashallah have big teams.
Yeah, I think now we can't micromanage people,
no.
Right? People don't like it. We can't do it either. So there's no point of doing it in the first place. We really need to empower people, give them authority to take decisions, give them support, even if they make wrong decision. Be with it, support them, and don't put them with bad accountability. Encourage them to take decisions. Empower them with the things that they want to do, what thing is right, and always make yourself available for the feedback. So that's how I operate. I love to empower people, and I like to focus on the key things, which is basically the strategy, the execution, and the people. So my role is basically primarily to deal with people and with the senior management, to talk to them, run through ideas, set their course, where we are trying to go, and so as long as that alignment is there, getting work done becomes much easier. So the micromanagement days are gone, and I encourage them to be honest, and if you don't feel like working, watch Netflix in office. That's fine.
Don't laze around. I mean,
yeah.
Positively contribute or go back home.
And the reality is, nobody can work like 10, 15 hours a day. It's basically the productive hours, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours max.
That is where you're the best.
Yeah, you're the best. So basically, you need to have that realization in the first place, that we are all human beings in the first place, and work is only gets done when we collaborate, when we are happy, and we trust each other, and everybody is rewarded for that.
So Asif, future fast forward, what are the essential skills that we should be embarking upon?
I think learning new things such as AI, generative AI, these are the things will shape the future beyond what we know today. So I was at Singularity University in October last year, and they had a boot camp at Miami Beach. So over there, Singularity University is all about the future. That what would happen 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. They are in the business of predicting it, right? And it's scary at the same time exciting as well. So the best thing to do is to keep on learning, keep on sharpening your skills, try to learn new ways how to get things done, and it's very exciting. It's getting easier. In my humble opinion, it's getting easier. But in future, AI will replace a lot of jobs, but there will be new jobs will be created. I mean, this is the same.
That's the caveat.
That's the caveat. That's been the fear when the computers were coming in. So people used to think that computer will take over the human jobs and humans will be left out. So today, the more and more jobs have been created, the more opportunities have been created. So in future, we would live with machines for sure. Machines would do a lot of our jobs. Will be surrounded by robots, and a lot of our work that we do today will be done by them.
Working with the board, working with advisors.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of C-suite execs who are also listening to our video casts.
Right.
What would be your advice be?
That they give me advice, or advice to them?
Advice to them how to manage the board, manage upwards, because you've, mashallah, interacted with a lot of boards,
right?
A lot of advisors.
Yeah.
How to get the best out of them?
Well, I think advisors are great source of information, especially when it comes to the decision making, right decision making. Often you come across difficult outcomes, right? You have different choices. So experience is something that is very valuable, and if you have advisors, if you have board members who are sincere and who appreciate your work, and that they're very honest and they're sincere with you. So basically, when you put a problem in front of them, they tell you, ways to get things done and what are the possibilities if you choose this. I mean, in real life, it's no black and white. It's not yes or no.
Yes.
There are many possibilities leads to similar results, right? And some of them could be different in one way or the other. So basically, it's not always like yes or no, true or false. It's basically so many yeses, and you need to pick which one to go after. And then mentors and board members and advisors really helps you sometime to make that process very simple. With their experience, they did something in the past, and
been there, done that. They will give you that confidence.
And you need to give respect to them, and you need to listen to them. I don't know how good I've been in that aspect, but I've been very blessed that I've had a very good set of advisors throughout.
I think, Asif, you do extremely well. As someone part of the Alumni Association, we interact almost on every week-to-week basis. Right? We have been chasing you in Barcelona in the US, getting you for the show. But for sure, I think you come across, and mashallah, that's part of your personality. Right? We love that about you. You're one of my favorite CEOs. Right? We love to talk to you about it. And I think your humble way brings and showers that energy, and the way you solve our problems, the way you, manage and you see those problems in a different way.
Right.
I mean, that gives us multiple solutions. That helps. So let's put you to another test.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a sweet success sweetness that we push towards you.
Okay.
We've got a list of around top 10s.
Okay.
And we would want your top of mind.
Be nice to me.
For those words. So, you ready?
Okay.
Top of mind, 3 seconds. Leadership. Empowerment. Your favorite app.
WhatsApp.
Values that you preach.
Integrity.
WhatsApp for business.
New possibilities for business to engage with customers.
Very nice. Future.
Hopeful.
Digital centricity.
It's very important. You can't live without it in today's days and time.
Challenges.
Opportunities. Challenges are opportunities always. You need to look at it from a different lens.
You're taking the ocean head on, huh? Transformation.
Possibilities.
Digital disruption.
Again, new opportunities. New mindset, new opportunities.
Last but
and
not
problem
least.
solving. I would say problem solving to that.
Problem solving.
Yeah.
Very important. Very important. Excellence in service.
Be the best in the game. And never compromise on quality. you know, never take things for granted. Solve it where you feel like you're solving it for yourself, solving it for your family. So when you're giving service to your client, to your family, to your friends, just be the best you can. Just don't do it from a compliance perspective that this is written in a document. Do it with full of your heart, mind, and soul. The way you want to be served.
And that is so important, in this day and age where, unfortunately, we're living across in an economy where you're being shortchanged on most of the avenues.
Right.
From, let's say, from voting / putting in your own consent on something versus while you go and buy grocery from those stores.
Yeah.
Right? Most of the time you feel that you're being shortchanged on gas, on electricity, on most of the other things around the the economy that we are facing.
Yeah.
And the challenges. So looking after your customer.
Yeah, absolutely important. And I think all of us, whenever we visit any location, such as gas station or a restaurant or a mall or even a valet, you can see a difference. Somebody who's really doing it with heart, mind, and soul, and with doing it with passion and putting a smile on the face, and you feel like doing something more for that person, right? And you feel instant connection because at the end of the day, we are all human beings. We like to be respected. We like to be taken care by others, and we like to reciprocate that experience. So, so if you do it in all aspects of life, it doesn't cost you. It's not a burden. It's just a choice that you make. So if you choose to live that way, it just makes you happy, makes others happy. And if you do it consistently over a period of time, that's how naturally you do it. It's not something that you push yourself. You're naturally doing it, and you do it, and that's how you see the greatest of the great people in the world.
Yeah.
Every time you interact with them, you feel so light. You feel so. And you say, this is such an important person, such a big personality, with such humbleness, smiling. Why is it so difficult for me? Because they have learned it. They have repeatedly done it so many times that it's no more a job for them anymore. It's no more extra effort for them anymore. It's just how they have become. Just like water is flowing from the top to the bottom, it doesn't make any effort. It flows, right? So
make that flow your personality.
Make that flow your personality, and you'll make most of the people happy. Not everyone, because there are always people who will complain. Doesn't matter what you do.
And last but not least, Asif, we've got a lot of alumni.
Right.
MashaAllah, we've got 16,000 plus alumni.
That's really amazing. That's a very powerful network, I would say.
And we are trying to regenerate. We are very much in touch with them, all of them. They're across all stratas. So we've got C-suite execs like yourself. We've got middle managers, and we've got young alumni who are just starting out.
Right.
What would be our advice to them?
Well, my advice to them is to stay in touch, first of all.
Network.
And because we bring 16,000 people is not a small number by any means. To me, in my professional growth, my alumni network really helped me. I mean, there was an alumni dinner, and I met Asif Jafri, the JJ of CBF,
Unilever.
at the event, and I said that this is what I'm doing, and he said, why don't you pitch it to us? So next week I went there, and we did something great with Unilever for a year or two, and that was purely on merit. That wasn't something that was, he compromised on anything. But that's how you grow. That's how you do things. That's how you collaborate. That's how you learn. That's how you move forward. So, and it is not something always that you want to take something. You want to give something, right? You want to contribute, but in process you also learn. So have a mindset, have a, don't operate from a scarcity mindset,
Right.
Operate from an abundance mindset, that you're going with a give and take mindset. You first, and in give and take, first word is give.
Yeah.
So try to approach people with, you want to contribute something, you want to offer something, and by the process, virtue of the process, you'll get something, and that's you get.
That's the universal way of,
universal way
Allah
of doing.
Ta'ala rewarding you for that.
Yeah, I mean, different people say different things. Some people say it karma. Some people say, acha karoge, acha milega, achhe karmo ka acha phal. So that's true. But if you do it in a way that you want to contribute, so again, you feel good. If you help someone, you have contributed in someone's life. that's how human beings have, have grown where we are today. Because a lot of technology that's not built by us, that was built by the older generation. I mean, the aeroplanes that we fly in today, not built by this generation, built by human beings in the previous ages. So we are basically passing on that baton to our next generation, where we are basically operating with the mindset that we need to contribute, we need to make our world a better place to live, and we are contributing to that development. So operate with that mindset, good things start to come in.
We're in conversation with Asif Jafri, a great human being, a CEO, a leader, a fellow alumni who has contributed so much, passionate about people, passionate about purpose, passionate about the positivity he spreads, not only for the customers, but also to the Alumni Association. Asif, on behalf of the Alumni Association, we thank you for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
And
thank you very much for
lovely
hosting
talk.
me. It's absolutely pleasure. It brings back all the old memories, visiting the campus. When you were going towards the car, I was like, oh, this is an opportunity to just roam around the campus and recall those memories. So it's always amazing to be back in the campus and relive those memories. And it's amazing that you're there. We spent some time together and back in our days. So thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure. And I would like to continue my support and continue to contribute even more in the coming days.
We wish you the very best of luck,
Thank
Asif.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.